So let's return to our top story, the death of the American student Otto Warmbier, who was jailed in North Korea and returned home in a coma. Well, let's head to Boston. Let's speak to Katharine Moon, who's Professor of Political Science and Asian Studies at Wellesley College. Thank you so much for joining us here on the programme. Just take me through the American reaction there's been, because this is a tragic case. Just take me through some of the feeling there in terms of since this news broke.
I think people who did not even know about Otto Warmbier have become shocked and really dismayed at this situation. The coma and his death really reached the living rooms, the family rooms of American households. People who may not have cared about North Korea except for nuclear weapons now look at North Korea in a very different light, as a country, a regime that can really hurt individual Americans. So unfortunately, our very difficult situation with the North Koreans, the U.S.-North Korea relationship that is very bad right now, has plummeted even further.
That's very interesting, because there's been such tension between Washington and Pyongyang, so many tweets from Donald Trump, so many policy announcements. So it's very interesting the way you describe how this news has gone into individual homes and has had a real impact. What do you think potentially President Trump can actually do? Because already he's increased sanctions. What else is there available to him?
Well, I can't speak for President Trump, but what the U.S. government, the State Department, and others who have been actively involved in monitoring the detained, imprisoned Americans, what they need to do is use this tragic occasion to put pressure on the North Koreans to bring the 3 remaining American prisoners home. There are 3 folks who have been stuck in North Korea for a variety of reasons, according to the North Korean government. And I think North Koreans do not want to see another death or another illness occur on their watch. What's really unusual about this situation with Otto Warmbier is that this is not the usual modus operandus of the North Koreans. They actually go out of their way to take better care of Americans and their own prisoners, and they do not want an international disaster and a horrible reputation on their hands, and that's what's happened.
A lot of people's eyebrows were raised in that recent interview from Donald Trump when he said he'd be honoured to meet Kim Jong-un. Do you think now it looks even more ill-advised, a comment like that?
Well, as we all know, the U.S. president seems to speak many words that don't really carry much weight, unfortunately. And one does not play with words with North Korea. And in this situation, I think the U.S. government is in a hard position just as much as the North Koreans are. The North Koreans in a worse situation. We need to get accountability. We need to get facts about Otto Warmbier. And right now it's a black box. He was not allowed to be seen by the Swedish embassy in North Korea, which is our representative, the U.S. representative for North Korea, since we do not have diplomatic relations with the North. And he has been deprived of that right to see a Swedish ambassador or his or her representatives. We have not known what's really been going on until recently. And so getting accountability, facts, that is the hardest thing, and that is what his family members, his community, and many Americans, just regular American families, would want to know. I think the U.S. government needs to take 2 tracks. One is to press North Korea through other governments as well to try to get information on Otto's situation, also to get information on the prisoners in North Korea who are being detained, and then try to use this occasion to get the remaining 3 prisoners out.
Well, Kathy Moon, thanks very much for joining us on today's programme. Thanks for your time. Now, still to come on Global. Well, he's got in before Vladimir Putin. The Ukrainian president meets Donald Trump. What kind of reception did he actually get?